So my name is Anne and I'm from the Schools Liaison Team in LIT, and we're delighted to bring you the second of our Instagram Q&A sessions where we'll be focusing on the different areas of courses that we offer in LIT. So today we will be focusing on the area of marketing, enterprise and digital communications, and shortly I will be joined by the head of the Department of Marketing, Enterprise and Digital Communications in LIT. So just while we're waiting for James to join us, I just want to highlight again that even though our physical campuses are closed here in LIT, we're very much open online and available to answer any questions that students may have over the next couple of weeks as you finalise your CAO choices. So whether you have courses or questions about our courses, about our facilities, about the student support services in LIT, do make sure to contact us through our social media channels, or you can email us at schools@lit.ie and we'll be delighted to answer any questions that you have. So I see James is on the line there now. Hi James, how are you?
How are you, Anne? How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Sorry for the slow connection there at the start. The Wi-Fi decided at a minute to 2 o'clock that it would go down, but we're sorted now.
No problem.
So thanks for coming on board to join us today. And obviously the area of courses that you offer are always very popular with students. Could you start off maybe by telling us a little bit about the different courses that are available in your area in LIT?
Sure, Anne, no problem at all. And hi to everybody who's joined. And so we cover very practical business degrees. So we offer 3 Bachelor of Business degrees, which means you're industry ready as soon as you qualify. We offer them in enterprise and innovation. So that's in the area of setting up your own business, but also working with small firms. I'm sure everybody out there is aware about 90% of the Irish economy is made up of small, medium-sized enterprises. So that degree really gets you ready for that area. Our main degree is marketing and management. So that's the whole area of advertising, branding, online, offline advertising, but also management, so strategic management if your objective is to become a manager of an organization. And then our newest degree is digital marketing, and I don't need to tell anybody who's joined a live stream on Instagram about digital marketing, you already know. So that's our huge growing area. That's where we're seeing huge growth in employment, huge growth at master's level if students want to go down that route. And it's new and it's exciting, and it means that your most interesting projects, companies are coming on board all the time to work with students. So that's our most new and exciting degree. So they're the 3 degrees we offer at undergrad level. We like to keep it nice and simple for people. And just to say, and I'm sure it'll come up in the chat, but we've designed them so that students can transfer quite easily between them. Because look, we know, and I remember it was a long time ago, but I do remember going to college. You're not sure. You're taking a chance. Is this the course for me? I know I'm interested in business, but what aspect? We like to run the courses in our department so that if you go, do you know what, I'd like actually to move from marketing into enterprise or from enterprise into digital, we can facilitate that. So I just to put people's minds at rest, it's a big decision. It's a tough time for everybody, especially at the moment. But when you come along into us, we'll look after you, and if we'll find you the right place and the right course to be on. So don't worry too much. As long as you come across to us, we'll take it from there with you.
Fantastic. That's great and good to know and reassuring for the students, particularly at this time. It's been a difficult few months, both for Leaving Cert students and for our own students as well, as I'm sure you'll have found over the last number of weeks as well. So James, we've got a lot of questions in over the last couple of days about your area, so we might just kick off and get into some of those. Probably the most common question that we get out at schools and also at careers exhibitions, and that has come in a number of times over the last few days: do I need to have business subjects from Leaving Cert? So do I need to have studied accounting or business or economics to apply for any of the courses in your area?
Yeah, I get that question all the time, Anne, and the answer is no. No. We have designed these programs. First year is all about learning the fundamentals of business, and we've designed the program that you learn in a practical way. So whether you've done a bit of business before, junior cert, Leaving Cert, accountancy, economics, you are not expected to have any foundation when you come into us, because the reason for that isn't that we want to make it easy. We want you to learn business the right way from the start of this degree. And so we teach our students through practical live projects where they're working in teams from day one, they're doing active things. That's what business is. Business is real world. It's not dusty old theory. So absolutely not. You don't have to have done accountancy. You don't have to have done economics. You don't have to have done business studies or any of those kinds of subjects. You won't be at a disadvantage either. Everybody starts the same on the marketing management, enterprise and digital marketing degrees.
That's great. So that's very reassuring again for students to know that. And sometimes it could be maybe something that puts students off deciding to apply. But there's a lot of business in it. I haven't done it before, so it's good to know that that's not required. I suppose another area that is, I suppose we've got a couple of questions on, and it has come in from both Jane and from Mike as well. Do I have to be very creative to study marketing? What kind of student is it suited to?
It's suited. Marketing, if you know, look, Anne, you're working in the area. If any students out there who know people in business, marketing is a standard part of business, and it takes all sorts. You can be very creative, and that means you can go into the visual side of marketing, or you can go into the copywriting end of marketing, or you can be a little more, book smart, a little more strategic. You can go into strategic marketing. You can be into languages and go into international marketing. Marketing is a very broad aspect of business. Management is very broad. It takes a village. We need all kinds of students. And I think that's a real strength of any of the LIT programs, but especially in our department. You're in a class with vastly different people. You're meeting a whole range of new people, different types of people with different skills. And we put all our students together. So you'll be sitting side by side with enterprise, with digital marketing students, students even in law and tax, working on different aspects of projects. You don't need a particular mindset. You need to be your type of marketer or your type of manager. What we want for our students is not to learn marketing. We want them to learn how to be the best marketer they can be. And we want them to be as creative as possible. So I'm not looking for one type of student. We're not looking for that. We want anybody who feels that they're interested in the area. And come and join us, and you will find a place. It's a very, very broad church.
That's great. That's good. Good to hear. And you mentioned there now there's a lot of practical work and project work involved on the courses. Do students get much opportunity to actually work with real life companies during their time on the courses?
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that we've been developing over a decade now on these programs, and right from first year all the way through to fourth year, students will be working on projects either directly with small companies on campus here, with companies they're familiar with, or they'll be working on kind of larger case studies involving international companies. And the staff here, and it's all about the lecturers, what we have in our department are young, enthusiastic lecturers who are coming from industry themselves very recently. So their skills, you can't teach digital marketing with 40-year-old skills. You have to have staff with those kinds of skills, and that's what we offer students. The second you come on to our courses, you're being delivered your courses, your content, your subjects by people who've been working in this area right up to now. Some of them are still working in this field. So absolutely hands-on from day one, practical. We don't tend to have too many exams. It's about continuous assessment for us. And that's what we like to, that's our philosophy of education. And if that appeals to anybody out there, we'd be more than happy to have you on board,
That's great. That sounds fantastic. I want to go back and do it myself, I think. And a question that has come in from Sarah Ryan this morning, and so she's a couple of questions in her comment. I have applied for the digital marketing course. Will I be able to go on work placement? Is the placement paid? And do I have to source the placement myself, or is that something that the college sorts out for me?
Great, and thanks for those questions, Sarah. Look, short answer, all of our programs now include a full semester of work placement, which you can then extend over the summer. So you can have a 6-month work placement with us. We support paid work placements. We have an entire employability office here in LIT dedicated to finding and helping you find the right work placement for you. So every student is different. Some students will want paid work placement. That's what we prefer. But then if a student wants to stay at home and wants to work on a particular project of their own, we can facilitate that too. But the key answer is yes, you'll have a full semester of work placement, no matter what program, whether it's marketing management, enterprise and innovation, or digital marketing. You will be facilitated to get a paid work placement. And look, personally, I think paid placement for digital marketing is going to be huge over the next few years, because I think digital marketing has exploded. I think we've all been buying online for the last 2 months. So, you know, somebody's behind that selling, and that's what we want our students to be doing. So, simple answer, yes, 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 you'll be on work placement. Also very important to say to Sarah and everybody out there, you're supported by the academic staff. You're not left on your own during placement. You'll have an academic supervisor who you'll know from your lectures. They'll work with you on the placement. They'll find you the right supervisor in the company. So you're never left on your own. You're always connected to the college, and you're always found the right placement for you. And it's about where you want to be in your career.
And that, again, that's very reassuring for students to know as well. And, you know, you mentioned there, you know, students aren't left on their own. And I suppose one of the things that would be very important to us in LIT are class sizes. And, you know, we deliberately keep class sizes, you know, smaller, so students and lecturers are on first name terms. Our students feel very much part of a community where there's a lovely warm atmosphere. Is it the same for the marketing classes? What would be the average size of the classes in your area?
Yeah, I see a few questions coming in there about class size, and I'm delighted to talk about this because, you know, I went to college in a university and I was in a class size of 700. So you're just a number, you know, you're not a person. When you come to LIT, our lecture sizes, and that's the biggest class you'll be in, about 60 students. But that's too big for us even. So we break you into smaller, what we call tutorial groups or working groups. And they can often be as small as, you know, 15 or 20 students on any given day. And that doesn't just allow you to ask questions easier. It doesn't just allow you to get to know your lecturer, but it actually helps you to learn better. You actually start to kind of grasp the stuff much faster than if you're in a class of 600-700 students in larger institutes. It's really critical. It's also in particular to our department in terms of marketing and digital marketing and management. You're learning people skills. Business is all about people. It's all about people skills, and you're learning how to deal with people in small groups, which is how we deal with people all through our lives. So it's really critical that people understand you're coming into that kind of supportive, focused environment.
Yeah, so that's fantastic for students to know that, you know, very much coming to LIT means you're part of, you know, a small like-minded community of lecturers, and you won't get lost in the system, which is important, I think, at the moment for students to know, because they've been, you know, very much working on their own as well over the last few months, studying and things, obviously with the support of their teachers. So that's great for students to know as well. James, is there an opportunity for students in your area to take an Erasmus placement? We obviously have a very active international department in LIT who have fantastic links with colleges all over the world. Does your area feed into that as well?
Oh, big time. I think we're one of the departments with the biggest uptake of Erasmus. And Erasmus course works both ways. So you'll have students from foreign colleges coming to join your class, and then you'll have the opportunity to go. So we offer students at any point across the 4 years of their program to go for a full semester or for a full year. And what we do is we work with the college you're going to ensure that you have the correct kind of set of subjects, so you're not missing out anything important, but equally that they're at the level that you're at, so that you're not being thrown into, you know, a level 4, you know, a level 10 subject in French when actually you're at level 7 or 8. So absolutely, you can go in second or third or fourth year on Erasmus. You can go to the States. You can go anywhere in Europe you want. And what the international office here has done in recent years, which is fantastic, is found a huge number of English-speaking colleges who educate through English on the mainland continent. So, you know, we had students in Dubrovnik this year who were learning through English. We had students in all across France, Austria, Northern Italy. If any of those kind of places appeal to you, and I would urge students not to allow the language to become an issue, because you can study language with us, very importantly, but also a lot of these colleges deliver through English, and it's a heck of an experience. I'd highly recommend it.
Absolutely, for sure. And that I suppose it was one of the questions that had come into us from a few students, which you've answered for us. You don't necessarily have to be taking the language elective to undertake an Erasmus placement in Europe. And English is the language of the working world in Europe as well. James, one of the very popular areas, I know from talking to students that are actually with us in LIT, is MarketLink and the opportunity to take part in MarketLink every year. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and what it's about?
Sure. Well, you know, I mentioned earlier about how we take a practical slant on business in LIT, in the Department of Marketing, Enterprise and Digital Communications. So right from first year, we get students involved every year for the last decade on a project we call MarketLink, where students work in teams, very often across different courses with different abilities, and they create a small business of their own, and it culminates in a massive event in LIT. Now, we normally have it coming up to Christmas, and it's kind of a big Christmas market, and it's a full, you know, it's a full module. This is part of your degree. This is part of your learning. We may have to move the date this year, but it's going to happen, and we'll just wait and see what happens in September. But all of our students get involved in that, and you know, I talk to fourth year students and when they're graduating at graduation, and they talk about MarketLink in first year. That was their, you know, favorite experience. It's where they meet their new friends. It's where they meet people on other courses, which is the most exciting thing about college. It's spreading out and meeting new people, and then you know, and they make a bit of money out of it too, which is rather nice. And we get to donate to charity, and it's all about practical learning.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic experience, and as you say, fantastic funds have been raised for local charities over the last couple of years. So just to, suppose for anyone that's just joining us, maybe just missed the start, I'm here chatting to Dr. James Griffin, who's the head of our Department of Marketing, Enterprise and Digital Communications in LIT. So if you have any question for us, make sure to get them into us. If maybe you know somebody that might be interested in this area and maybe hasn't had a chance to join the live chat today, just to note that this video will be on our website over the next couple of days at lit.ie, and also on our YouTube channel. So you'll still have plenty of chances to be able to catch that afterwards as well. Our question now has come in from Sinead Lynch just there last night, and she's toying between marketing and management and digital marketing, and wondering, is there much crossover on content between both of them? She's not quite sure which to make her number one choice and which to make her number two choice.
Yeah, look, that's a question we get a lot, and it goes back to this idea. I wouldn't be too worried, would be the first thing. I know it's an anxious time, CAO choices, change of mind. Don't worry, because once you come in on one of those programs, we can transfer you between them. So if you find you've maybe made the wrong decision, we can rectify that. So don't worry too much about it. What I would say is that there is a lot of crossover, especially in first and second year. You'll probably share, you know, 3 or 4 subjects in any semester. So that's what allows us to be able to transfer you between them. So they're quite similar, because you got to learn to walk before you can run. So you've got to learn the basics, theories of marketing and the basic ideas behind management. And then it's really in third and fourth year that you see the specialisms for digital really kick in a very different way. But at that point, you'll know whether you're on the right course, and at that point, then you can transfer between them. So I understand that it's a concern for students now on their CAO. What I would say is just make your judgment call, email into us, use the contacts, ask us any questions at all over the email, no problem. Make your decision, and then look, if there is an issue after you've started, we can fix it then, and we can get you onto the right course if it's between those two.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. So that's hopefully reassuring for Sinead to know. And I just see a question popping up on the screen here now. You've probably touched on it a little bit already, James. Johnny is asking, are there good employment prospects across all 3 degrees? Naturally, all our courses are very much developed in conjunction with industry, various professional bodies. So there are fantastic links there.
Yeah, well, look, thanks, Johnny, for the question. It's good to see people, people interested in business courses are great because they're practically minded, and it's good to be thinking about employment even 4 years out. The simple answer is we've fantastic employment rates. So out of marketing and management and enterprise and innovation this year, our employment rate was somewhere between 90 and 94%. And that's within 3 months of completing the course. And a lot of students then go on to postgraduate education as well. So once you factor that in, the employment rates are excellent. But the thing that I like to say about this, Johnny, is it's not just even about getting a job. It's about getting a career. And what these degrees do, because they're Bachelor of Business degrees, is they're preparing you for your career. So we don't just want you getting a job at the end of this. We want you starting a career. And the sooner you start that career, the faster you move up the salary levels and the faster you move up the management hierarchy of your organizations. And that's what we want for you. So we get you career ready, whether that's in digital marketing, management, international strategy, global business management, whatever it might be. So the key thing isn't just that you can get a job at the end of it. The key thing for us is that you can begin your chosen career. And that's what we do for students. It's easy enough to get just jobs for your graduates, and some places are a bit like that. So I just, that's what we focus on. And if you're, looking at other colleges, make sure you're looking at that employment rates are one thing, but actually getting people ready for their career is something that you need to be hearing from colleges that they're doing for you.
That's good. So Johnny, that's a fairly comprehensive answer there. So hopefully that answers the question that you have there. Just a question in from Ryan O'Leary, James, and he's interested in the Enterprise and Innovation course. Not quite sure yet if I'd actually like to run my own business. So are there still options available to me? I can still consider that course, even if I don't know, do I want to work for myself?
Oh, absolutely. The Enterprise and Innovation course is kind of one of our, it seems like a very specialist course, but actually it's one of our most popular courses. It's not just about setting up your own business. Now, obviously, we facilitate you to do that. We've had students go directly from our course into self-employment. But actually, as I mentioned right at the top of this, the Irish economy is based on small firms. And there isn't anybody out there today or anytime listening to this that doesn't know more people working in small firms than in large firms. And what you learn in that enterprise and innovation degree are all the specialist management, financial management, people management, marketing management skills that are pertinent to small firms. And what I actually find is the students with the best employment prospects, the broadest employment prospects, the most kinds of companies, the most companies looking to employ them, are the graduates of enterprise and innovation, because it doesn't matter what the SME or the small firm does, it needs business graduates to help them run. And so we're placing enterprise and innovation graduates into small firms, in their personnel departments, in their human resource management departments, and obviously in their marketing and management departments. So whether or not you want to set up your own business, that's a lovely thing to do, but very few people do it straight out of college. So in answer to Ryan's question, absolutely not. It's not a course just aimed at going into self-employment. Far from it.
Good, that's great. So hopefully, Ryan, that answers your question. Question in as well this morning from David. I'm a mature student and I've applied for the level 6 marketing and management in LIT. Will there be many mature students in my class, or in general, are there many mature students in the course?
Well, look, I mean, it varies, David, from year to year, but we always have mature students in the class. It's very important for us. Just like we talked about Erasmus, that was important to have international students in your class. You know, when you get to college, it's all about learning about the wider world and the diversity. of what you're going to meet in it. So we would always have, I would say, anywhere between 5 and 10% of our class as mature learners. And that's, that's a big, broad group in and of itself. So you won't be alone, David. There'll be lots of people like you. There's a great kind of mature learners kind of society in LIT. So you'll meet mature learners across many different programs. There's no need to be concerned about that. And equally then our lecturers are very used to dealing with the particular requirements that mature learners have. And they do have different requirements. They have different life requirements and different pressures. And we fully understand that. I was a mature learner myself. And, we feed into that. So you won't be alone, and you will receive the kinds of supports, the particular kind of supports. We understand them, that mature learners need. They are, they have different requirements, and we recognize that. It's not a problem.
That's great. That's good to know. And James, we offer obviously the marketing and management at level 6 and also at level 8. So students can start off at level 6, take that pathway through to a level 7 and onwards to a level 8. Are there minimum grades that students need to get to progress from the 2-year higher cert at level 6 into level 7?
No, there's no barriers at all, and it's an automatic progression. So whether you come in on the level 6 or level 7 or level 8, it makes zero difference. And in fact, you'll be in the same classes, you'll be treated the same, and very often, lecturers very often won't even know which version of the course you're on. And once you complete your 2 years at level 6, you are automatically through to level 7. There's zero effort on the student's part in terms of applying. It just happens automatically. So as long as you're passing your exams and doing your best, it's an automatic straight through over the 4 years.
That's great. And El McMahon sent us a message there this morning as well, just wondering about the sort of jobs in digital marketing. I know you've touched on it already, because the internet has very much changed how we conduct our business, and digital marketing is becoming obviously more and more important. So what sort of jobs will be open to, to Elle when she graduates? I suppose it's changing all the time, really, the whole area of digital marketing.
It is changing all the time, but it's kind of predictable as well. You can see the arc of where the jobs are. So we have the reason we designed that program 2 years ago was because we had companies coming to us on a regular basis saying they simply couldn't find people to do particular kinds of work for them. So, the employment rates and the careers coming out of digital marketing are, I think the opportunities are amazing. You'll be able to work in everything. So we run modules on social influencing, for example. We run modules, again, on global branding. We run modules on pricing online, which is a particularly difficult thing to get right. So the endless number of areas. But what I can certainly say to you is that your employment prospects are in such a wide array of areas that companies, no matter what they are, need help in them. Every company out there is crying out for younger people generally who are more tech savvy, certainly than I am, who are comfortable with, how to write an online ad, where to put that ad, where does it link to, the kinds of mobile devices that people are using, the kinds of branding that people respond to, and the kind of influencers that we should be looking at. So though any kind of employment in that area, companies out there generally run by people who are a little bit on the older side, and they're just not comfortable in that space. So I see huge employment prospects there for the next 5 to 10 years at least in that area.
Brilliant. That's great. So Eleanor, hopefully that answers your question as well. James, we're nearly through the questions. You've provided us with an awful lot of information. One other area, I suppose, that we would see a lot of students coming from are the QQI, the level 5 sort of area, that have maybe taken the year out to do a PLC course and are applying to college after that. Naturally, we accept students into all of our courses with those qualifications. Do you set a limit on the number of places that you have, or once somebody meets the points requirement and the entry requirements, are they secured with a place?
They're secured with the place, and so there are no limits, and we'll accept in those students. We love having those students on board because they bring, again, a different dimension into the class. So our classes are all about bringing different dimensions in, and we really welcome those students. They're usually very organized, they're very determined. no limits whatsoever. And, you know, if they've completed at level 6, we can certainly look at bringing them directly into second year, you know. We love having them on board, no limits whatsoever. And just all I can do is encourage for people to apply in good time and secure their place.
That's great. Good to know. So I suppose this one here is probably because of the current situation that we're in, we're probably going to see more and more of this. This lady Jill has messaged us that I've recently lost my job because of COVID-19 and I'm thinking about going back to college. I know that CAO is closed. Are there any other routes that I can consider to get into LIT? I'm particularly interested in the enterprise and innovation area.
Yeah, so look, yes is the simple answer, and we're very aware of those kinds of difficulties people are in. We're here, our objective here is to help specifically people in those kind of situations. So we've opened up our enterprise and innovation degree for direct entry, which means that it's literally just a straight application, email into the college, apply, and we'll process it for you. So yes, we're aware of people having those kinds of difficulties, unfortunately, but we're here to help. And yes, you can have a direct entry into the enterprise and innovation degree.
That's good. So just for Jill, if you're watching, if you just email us even at schools@lit.ie, we'll explain the procedure to you and we'll get the ball moving on that. So James, thanks so much for answering all of those questions. To finish up, I might just ask you, put you on the spot as to what advice would you maybe offer for the class of 2020? Obviously, the Leaving Cert has been cancelled, so students are in a different situation at the moment. But for anyone that has applied to the CAO, thinking about coming to LIT next year, particularly thinking about the courses in the marketing, enterprise and digital communications area, what advice would you offer?
Look, first of all, I think they've had you guys going through this on the Leaving Cert side have had a roller coaster. So, you know, we think it's difficult trying to plan for next year, but you guys have been right in the middle of it. All I can say is take a breath, just try and relax for a minute because, you know, the predictive grading is what they're talking about now. Let that take care of itself. Give yourselves a break. Take a minute. Don't delay your lives. This COVID thing, it's horrendous, but it will pass. And when it passes, you need to be able to say, I didn't let it slow me down. I got through it and it didn't get the better of me. Take your time, but don't let it slow you down. I know there's some people talking about delaying themselves a year or holding back. I personally think that's a mistake. And now everybody's different. You got to make your own way in life, but you have an opportunity just to keep on moving here. And the first few weeks might be tough, but you know what? They're always tough. There's always challenges in life. And all I can say is, I'd rather be starting my college career than not starting my college career. So if you can at all, just try. You know, we're all finding it tough, but we're trying to cling on to normality as much as possible. That's what's going to get us through this. And the normal thing is you come to college in September and you start. And that's what we're going to try and do for you. And it might look a little different than normal, but that'll only be for a while. And it'll make it all the better when we do get back to full normality, you know, if you're in the middle of that. And you know what? It's tough and it's horrible for people, but it's a hell of a story to the start of your college career. And there's a lot of life learning to be gained from it. So my bit of advice is just keep on going if you can. Get your college career started. Don't let COVID-19 slow you down. You know, we need to beat this thing and we'll beat it by keeping going. And on our part of that is we'll facilitate you. We'll be able to teach you. We'll be able to get the content to you, and we'll be able to work through it together. But we can only do that if you come and join us in LIT.
Brilliant. I think that's absolutely very worthwhile advice, James. So definitely worth taking on board. So again, I just want to thank you for joining us today and for answering all of those questions. I think anybody interested in the courses in your area has got a very comprehensive overview of what's involved and what they'll get a chance to learn. And I wouldn't mind going back trying it all over again myself. So just to finish up, I'm just going to reinforce again, if you have any questions over the next number of weeks as you finalise your CAO choices, do make sure to contact us in LIT. We're very much open online and available to help you out as you finalise those choices. So whether it's about our courses, our facilities, the supports that are available to students, we're here and we're ready and willing to help and help you out with making those decisions. Simply drop us an email to schools@lit.ie, or on every course page on our website, you'll see there's a chat button where you can submit a question. It comes into our team. We'll answer the question and send it back out to you again. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again to for James for taking part. Make sure to look at lit.ie to see details of the other Instagram Q&A sessions that we have coming up over the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.